We're moving right into our next session. Let me fix the brand banner first. We're going to bring in Ty Givens from the Workforce Pro, and she is going to be interviewing Tiffany from Bold Swim. Let's bring you both on stage now. Hello, hello.
Hello. Good to see everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to see you again, Ty. Tiffany, hello. Welcome to the Future of E-commerce, where we're here to talk retention. We've been going deep into some of the tools and strategies. I am just going to pull myself away and let you two talk about how this has been going for Bold Swim.
Very nice. Thanks, Derek. Hi, everybody. This is Ty Givens, and I am the founder of the Workforce Pro. And we work with companies to help them set up and build their CX operation. So all of the boring stuff with processes and workflows and technology, that's all us. But today I'm going to talk to you because, of course, obviously having efficient workflows, response times, the right systems and tools is key. There's no doubt about that. But the other side of the CX is the way that you make your customer feel. So today I'm talking to Tiffany because Tiffany created an experience for me as a buyer that I think everybody needs to know about, and I think that everybody needs to try. Obviously, we'll go into detail about what that experience was. But first, Tiffany, welcome. I would love for you to introduce yourself to the people and talk about Bold Swim.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Asamoah. I am the founder designer behind Bold Swim. I make sustainable swimwear for inclusive bodies, size inclusivity, and diverse people alike.
So true. Okay, so here's how it starts, y'all. I talked to Tiffany via LinkedIn a few months back. I was in the market for a swimsuit. I remembered her because she was so personable. Instead of going to the CEO, right? I could go to LinkedIn, but I was like, let me go to the website and just get the experience because, this is what I do. So I go to the website. I let her know what my troubles were as far as finding a swimsuit is concerned. At first, I didn't know I was talking to Tiffany, but the experience that I got was phenomenal. And it was far, far, far above what I would have even expected. Okay. So we are going to talk about that experience, but the first thing I want to touch on is value, right? So there's a price point for a product, but then there's the value that you deliver. And I want to know, when you were building Bold, how did you decide who you were going to be for your customer? Did you develop a persona, or were you just genuinely being you and that worked?
I think it's genuinely being me. I've always been me. Nobody else can be me. So I think that always is in my benefit. I'm just uniquely myself. And I want my customers and my clients to be uniquely themselves. I don't want them to change to fit into Bold Swim. I want them to be bold, be you.
I love that. And also, you guys, when you check out the website, Tiffany's website, it's boldswim.com, you're going to see all body types. And for me as a consumer, I am not a size 2. I don't remember the last time I was. And I wanted to feel beautiful, and I wanted to also feel comfortable in my selections. So what happened is, I'm telling Tiffany what my troubles are. This is on chat.
Yep.
And she picks out suits for me. So I'm on the side. I'm looking at the suits. They're all gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
And after we get to a point where I'm like, okay, I think I see one that I like, she says, okay, I'm going to send you a few others to try. Okay. That literally blew my mind. Because I had a boutique experience from an online shopping experience. So for me, that creates, a fan for me out of her brand. How did you come up with that idea? how has that served you? Because obviously I'm raving about it. And, what are some of the feedback that you've gotten from other customers given that experience?
It's the same. People engage on the chat, and some of them know my name. They ask for me specifically, so I don't know if they think it's other people that are in the chat. And with COVID and the team working remotely, they're always like, "Is this Tiffany?" And I'm like, "Actually, it is. It's me." So they're always excited when they get to engage with me on the chat. They'll tell me their issues. I have a note section in the checkout, even if you don't engage in the shop chat. Once you make a purchase, you can leave me a note. And the customer just wrote a long list of kind of details that we chatted about. I'm like, okay, this is what I think you want, and then this is what you need. Let me send you some more recommendations because I think you'll also like this, or to get you out of your comfort zone, right? It served me very well because I'm that customer. I'm like, I think I can fit this, but I want to be sure and I want to be comfortable in my decisions. Yeah. And that was why I started Bold Swim. I'm a size 14 to 16 on any given day. We go up and down, right? So I wanted people to feel luxurious. I wanted them to feel confident. I wanted to empower them when they go into the bikini season or swimsuit season and not have this negative body image or start talking, have negative self-talk. I wanted everyone to feel confident. And I have men customers too. So that's why I've removed women and, those labels from the messaging, because it's all about inclusivity. And that's always what I've been about. And then trying to honor on that and give other products for those things. So I started because I wanted everyone to be comfortable and confident. So how I would want to be treated as a customer is how I would treat my customers, having that boutique experience.
I think it's amazing because I think I might have received at least, I think I bought a dozen swimsuits.
You did.
Right?
Yeah.
I tried every single swimsuit. Okay. Literally.
I was having fun. I was pulling off you.
It was amazing because first of all, I didn't think that I would be able to find that many options that were going to fit me. That's one. The quality was amazing. I also stepped out of my comfort zone quite a few times because I'm like, I can't wear that. And I'm like, wait, I totally can. I had no idea. So I thought that was really that to me was the biggest wow moment was first of all, I felt trusted by you. And that's a concept in CX that I actually usually preach and teach on the opposite end, that you need to make sure that the customer trusts you. Yes. But conceptually, I felt like you trusted me. Right? Because here I am with a dozen of your swimsuits. And although eventually I said who I was, I didn't get special treatment because I don't think we weren't talking like, oh yeah, it's the lady from LinkedIn. It was just like, this was just what you do and how you position your brand and your business. Absolutely. So I don't know the life cycle of swimsuits, so let's talk about that. Like, how often do people typically buy? And sorry, two-part question. How often do people typically buy? And then the second part of that is, because of the experience that you offer, do you find that you have loyalists, or what would you say your retention rate is from customers who buy once?
So good question. So yes, I have, for the first part of the question, I would say, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about the second part. So repeat the first part again for me.
Okay, so the first part is, oh boy, let me get the first part.
Got excited.
When we're talking retention and loyalty, right? So when how many of your customers come back to you more than once, right? Because of the experience that you give them initially. Like when I think about, I told so many people, right? So guys, NPS is a big deal. Net promoter, word of mouth. It works in two ways. It works if things are horrible and it works if things are great, right? So in this experience, I'm telling everyone that I know that they need to, if you're in the market for a swimsuit, you don't even need to worry about what you like. Just go to Bold Swim. They'll help you pick and choose, right? So when you have a customer that you've developed that type of relationship with, that type of trust with, I know it created a loyalist and a fan out of me. do you find that you have consistent customers that come back? And if so, how often do people buy swimsuits? Like, what's your life cycle like?
Yeah, so very good question. So yeah, I do have returning customers and loyal customers because of that first experience. If they're telling me all of this, I feel like once I gain their trust that, hey, I have something, I may not have everything for you, maybe at everyone at one time, but eventually I'm capturing that data, I'm capturing these conversations because I want those unique customers to keep coming back because that's why I started. The more data I have, the better I get, the better Bold gets at designing these things to make sure that you're comfortably fitted in those. And now you have a home, not with just one or two styles. You have a whole collection of a curated swim closet that can be lingerie, that can be intimates, that can be bodysuits for the summer, going into and out of the gym. So athleisure. Little do people know that I started with athleisure as well because I wanted that flexible closet, and that's really what increased our sustainability, designing without specific notions that are typically in swimwear, so you can wear them in activewear as well. But just having the conversations like I had with you during the chat, customers come back and they're like, oh my God, Tiffany just really helped me. So then I'll have a friend of theirs and then they'll tell me that their friend is checked out, or they'll engage me on social, or they'll email me. And then in my purchase flows, I have a thank you. And it's just very simple. I sign my name and people love that. I get so much feedback. I'm like, oh, they're gone. I may not see them. I hope they post. I hope they tag me, which I love because I feel like I'm on vacation like constantly. People are buying more and more swimwear. I have a unique customer that has bought everything in the first year of me launching the business, and it continues to come back. And she's brought her friends, she's brought her family. So yeah, my customers are keep coming back. I make sure that I check in with them to see how everything's going. When they supported me early on in the pandemic, giving back to keep the team running in the back end, I sent them a little thank you card and a gift card to come back to the shop again and keep spending and keep supporting the brand that you love and that you're helping grow. So it was really amazing to me. I send them notes of encouragement if I know that they're going through school. So that just having that community and that sisterhood or that encouragement and that bond that we share and that trust, I feel like I can do those things. I can send them, additional swimsuits that I think that'll fit, and I know that'll come back. And they've come back every time. I've not had to send any follow-up emails. I don't worry about it. There's emails and trackings, and I just know that they're going to do the right thing because they trust the community that we've created. They trust the brand. They trust me that I'm going to also do right by them as well.
Yeah, I almost feel like it sounds weird to say that we became like, friends at least, like in some way, right? Like I felt an affinity towards you, like, okay, she's got my back. I know that she's going to help me choose what's going to work best for me. She trusts me with her products. As a matter of fact, when I went to return them, I'm like, I dropped them at this post office because I wanted her to know that I handled her products with care, right? When it comes to dissatisfied customers, because we all have those.
Yep.
Tell me about like a time where you took a dissatisfied customer and actually turned them around and created a fan.
Yeah. So I've had a few returns in the 4 years I've been operating. I don't have a lot, and even if it's I say dissatisfied customer, it's just meaning their expectations haven't been met. Yeah. So I try to get as much information to see, okay, what went wrong? What can we do better? Or provide feedback. So even that email still goes out to them. Hey, thank you for trying us. Sorry, we couldn't help you at this time. Is there specific feedback that you can give me? So once they give me that feedback, I know I've created a fan, and now I know what to do next time, or I know where I can show them, hey, I've worked on the feedback. This is something we've been planning. We've been able to execute it. Let me send you a follow-up to let you know that I took your feedback. It's valuable to me. And then this is what you've helped me do better at. So it's always just resetting expectations, me understanding what their expectations were for the swimwear, or even clarifying something, updating the product descriptions, updating the catalog and the lookbooks, making sure I always forget sometimes to take the back of the swimwear, like for the booty shot. So I'm like, oh, I need to get the booty shot. Everybody's concerned about that because that's one of our things in swimwear. We want to make sure it's either very attractively shown or concealed, right? So yeah. So if you have a lot of it or a little bit, or you want to show off or you want to show a little bit, I'm a mom, so I like to have a sexy suit and a mom suit that's, semi-sexy but conservative. So yeah, those things are important. So I'm like, yes, let me go do that right now. Let me go take a shot. And then just being transparent and being myself. Authentic me is, again, my strong suit and why I started. So I'm showing them like, hey guys, I get a lot of questions about not being plus size. I'm plus size. Remember, that's why I started. I know sometimes you only see this much of me, but I remind them by taking pictures of my own collection and making sure that they can see that every part of sizing is considered because it has to work for me. I feel like I have more swimwear at this time than clothes.
No, I ended up buying double what I expected to buy. I was looking for one.
Adopted.
It was amazing. I bought two because I was like, they're kind of like, I'm not a mom, but I did want conservative, and then I wanted another option as well. And I was able to get both of those things met in both of the suits that I have, and I'm excited to be able to wear them and show them off because they're lovely. So I appreciate for sure the time and effort that you took with me as a customer. Speaking though of the fact that I essentially doubled my order, right? I was looking for one, I got two. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot when you expect to just do one, but I loved two enough to move forward with that. What would you say that this, online boutique experience that you've been able to create, how do you think that's impacted your revenue? Do you see that people buy multiple like me?
Oh yeah, they do. So even if you're not a mom or if you're going to a girls trip, depending on the trip that we have, they're more like accessories. And I want it to be more of like a curated closet. So you have additional vacation clothes. So you don't have to have, you're going to bring all your accessories and your styling tips, but in your swimwear, you can style that as an outfit. So some resorts require you to be a little bit more covered up when you're out of the pool area and the cabanas and things like that. So making sure that you can still wear that swimsuit without having to put on a lot of layers of clothing or just put like a short or light jacket or a top on it. That's the purpose, because I always want you in that vacation mode. I always want you, shining and glowing. So I was designed to not be covered up. Yeah. And in the swimwear, you can go from, all different ranges, more conservative, more sexy, more, wherever you are, you're still appropriate for the situation. And you're always regal. You're always in style. It's never a pattern that will go out of style or go out of trend. So you can wear it year after year after year.
Yeah, they are definitely timeless pieces. I will be buying more for sure. That's definitely going to happen. And one thing I was going to point out was because of and this is something that I think is a good takeaway for anyone who has an e-commerce business, who's looking to retain customers, get that loyalty, get someone who's like fanatical about your brand, is the relationship piece, right? So during the time when Tiffany so kindly first of all, she sent me 2 boxes of suits. It wasn't just like the first one, okay. It was like the first one, I tried everything, told her what I liked and loved, and then she sent me a second set, right? So
I've actually grown out of my boxes and bags because I do that so often, like with customers, and then they end up buying so much now, like the little thing that I started with, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to double this box.
Double the box, yes. When I went to pick it up, I was like, oh, okay. It was great, right? So I trying everything. And during that time, I didn't even tell you this, you were running a sale during the time. And because of the experience that you gave me, the time you gave me, the energy, the effort, the quality, I am a shopaholic on a discount. Let me tell you, there was no way possible that I was going to say, can I buy? No way possible, because I felt like the value that you gave me was worth the discount and more, right? So it was worth it for me to I was like, no, because she has gone so far above and beyond any expectation that I've ever had. And I'm critical about customer experiences because I help brands build them. So I'm looking at like, response times and wait times and how do you make me feel? And do you take ownership, right? Because that's a big deal. Do you take ownership? If there's an error or an issue, do you take ownership, right?
Yeah. I
So
remember last summer, not to cut you off, last summer, it was crazy. We got so busy and packages were going to the wrong addresses. They were having the wrong suits. I was like, I'm losing my mind. Like, this is great. But then my customers, I was like, I'm so sorry. We were going so fast. We're getting them out. I have a relationship with the mailman. So he comes and knocks on the door. He's like, any packages today? I'm like, actually. And my husband actually just put 2 out. So it's that, like you said, that relationship that you have to make sure that such and such is waiting on this. They're waiting for this for their birthday vacation. They're going to Puerto Rico tomorrow. Like, I need to get this out today. I need to make sure it's scanned. I need to make sure that they can see movement on this package.
Yes. I'm a fan. I'm going to say that all day because I think when I started looking into purchasing a swimsuit, it was I believe it was like October 2020, and the first purchase I made was from you. I've been looking for that long. So I was trying stuff and I was like, nope, this isn't it. Nope, that's not right. Nope. And then finally I was like, I found something that I really love. So I'm so grateful to you. I want to show really quickly. There's four key tips that I want to give everyone about being able to create some loyalty within your brand. And these actually, let me see here. It's going to show us for just a second, but let me switch it. Can you see my screen?
Can.
All right, perfect. So there's 4 tips here, and everything that we've talked about is in line with this, but we'll continue to elaborate a little bit. The first thing is value above all else. You probably heard the saying from Warren Buffett that price is what you pay and value is what you get.
Absolutely.
Right. There's also a saying, I don't know if you guys have ever heard, that's we're too poor to buy cheap stuff. Right. So you focus on the value and value does not always, it's not always tied to a dollar amount. So as I had mentioned, with the fact that you were running that sale was immaterial to me because of the value that I got.
And that's what happens a lot. I offer my customers because they come back so often, and I'm like, hey, we can do these things because you guys support me, and I appreciate that. And they don't. I'm like, I know it's good because they just bought, but I know it's front and center. Maybe I need to put it in a different place. And I think that's the feedback that they give me each and every time.
Yes. So you guys, and it's not something that can be faked. So let me say this, first of all, it's because it's the authenticity of what is felt by, your customer that is leading them to want to support you in that way. And so I think that some advice that I would give other brands is to try to tie in and hone in on that authenticity. And there's also a piece where I say you need to deliver your customer experience like you're the CEO. And that's true because a CEO has a different outlook and view on a customer because they know how difficult it is to acquire the customer. They know how difficult it is to keep a customer. So I think that we all need a CEO mentality when we are delivering customer experiences. Would you agree with that?
I would agree wholeheartedly.
Yes. The next thing is unexpected, amazing experiences. You guys hear people talk about the wow experience. That's taking me back to a previous life. And I think that you nailed this on the head by, when I ordered one suit, you were like, I'm going to send you more to try. And then when I tried all of those, I felt good about having tried those, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to send you more to try. So you continuously far exceeded in a very positive way my expectation. And I think that that's something that, we can also deliver. So maybe, not every brand has, swimwear that they can use, but I think that, products that they can send out to their customers in bulk. But I think that the key here is if you have someone who is engaging with your customer, who is as passionate about your brand or your product or your service, the sales are going to actually show. And that's because they are giving recommendations, feedback, product info from a genuine place of service that people receive differently. I'll let you elaborate there.
Oh, no, absolutely. I agree. I think that, just a simple thank you, not just taking a package and going on, or the customer made a mistake and, it may cost a little bit more money to ship it out, but they emailed me like, hey, I put the wrong size. No worries. It's already in the mail. They're like, I need to change size. I'm like, your package just got picked up a little while ago, so no worries. I'll put the correct size in the mail. And once you get them, you have both to try just to make your decision, and then just send the other one back.
I love that.
Like, what? This is crazy. I'm like,
yeah. I think because we are in some ways almost conditioned to have that feeling of we're not going to refund you until we receive the product, which again kind of goes back to trust. And I get it because everybody doesn't operate above board. But I think if we start to create some authentic relationships with the customer, that ownership, because I felt ownership for your items, and I felt it because I felt like you trusted me. And if we can start to bring that out of customers, I think that we'd be in a better space, and people would be happier because we are getting away from the true essence of customer experience, the way that it was when it kind of became a thing. We're now getting into the let's overly automate things and not talk to humans because it's expensive, but it doesn't have to be if it's done right.
Correct.
The other thing is that you definitely had a no problem mentality, and you just touched on that. There was nothing that I felt that after communicating with you, I remember saying, oh my gosh, I feel special. And you said you are special. And it was just a small thing, but it really meant a lot. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, thanks. Because you didn't know at that time I was going crazy just crazy busy. And the highlight of my day was to be able to stop and try on these swimsuits and communicate with you about what was going on because I was overly stressed, right? Yeah. So to hear that, I'm like, well, thank you. No, I appreciated that so much. And even when, I was like, well, I don't know if this one's right for me, or I'm not sure. It was always not a problem. Oh, don't worry. Yes, no, I have something else for you. You should try this. I'm going to send you that. And that made me feel really good. So I think that we all need to approach the no problem mentality and literally drop any defenses and be open to receiving feedback, as you had mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. I mean, it's my baby. It's been my baby for a long time. I've seen it from my first style to my styles now, and then what I have proposed for the future, taking on more unique cases like yourself, capturing those bodies and those data. And I've been able to interact with more customers. I'm like, actually, I just talked to Ty and she had a great experience. So I know this is going to work for you. And then let me have the challenge because I'm waiting for that to continue to meet and exceed those expectations.
I love that. The last thing I think that you did really well was you had this feel where there's no one else in the room. So I remember calling my doctor's office and being done with what my question was. And the person said to me, have I answered all of your questions today? I have time. And that was a small thing that went a long way, because I think, as I had talked about just a moment ago, we live in a world and in a space where everything is so rushed. Yes. And I didn't feel rushed at all. I felt supported, and I felt like I was probably your only customer, and you might have been talking to 10 people, but the focus was definitely there, and I felt that. And that is also, I think, important to building that relationship. Absolutely. And that relationship will increase and lead to more sales. Obviously, that's everyone's ultimate goal at the end of the day, though we don't all live for money. But obviously, if we're in business, we want to be able to make a living at it. Yeah. So I feel like you've done a really great job at creating that, I'm going to take care of this. You're going to be okay. I'm going to make sure that I have something for you. You did a really great job at that.
I appreciate that. I track tracking numbers for unique cases of like, okay, so did that person get theirs? Where are we at? Making sure everything gets on deadline. So yeah.
Yes. So I am like really, really, really so appreciative of you taking the time today. Let me stop sharing. Sorry, I'm always doing something wrong on this thing.
It's okay. Sorry. I got you.
Hey there.
I'm always screwing it up somehow. But It's been awesome, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm so happy that you're glad with your purchases and the service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love the idea of putting a couple of extra products in the box and saying, hey, try a few more on and see if it works. This is, I mean, it sounds, I think for a lot of people at first, it'll sound like a sneaky way to upsell, but in the way that it's been positioned, especially with a product that really does need a lot of try before you buy components to it, it's really is a value added proposition, and you came about it, of course, from a value added way. So I love it completely. I have a quick question for you, Tiffany. Because you're selling products for all different shapes and sizes. Yeah. Have you looked into an augmented reality tool or like a fit sizing tool? Because this industry is like kind of popping up with them left and right. Have you thought about doing anything like that to help people find the right size?
Yeah, so I have partnered earlier the last couple of years with StyleMe. So they were like a virtual fitting room that worked really well for a while. We're in the works of something else, so I can't quite share just yet. But okay. So I did partner with StyleMe. They were a virtual fitting room where you were able to try on the sizes, add the sizes, and that gave us a lot of data on the back end to see who our customer was. We decreased in plus sizes beyond large, and then went back to get some refinement to get those customers, because I know those customers exist. I'm one of those customers. So getting that back on the board to get that more data, to get those bra sizes, to get those hip sizes, to make sure that in those key areas they're being fit properly, and holding you in place and letting you be free in other places that you need to be free and held in was definitely something we look into. So we're always looking for the next thing. We have, like I mentioned, something in the works that'll continue to augment that and to provide that better service.
Yeah,
because there's not one size fits all, obviously.
And it's so interesting because that's collecting data on the customers that creates a feedback loop to how you might design the product, which then first makes you lose lost inventory, or sitting inventory costs go down, and then also return rates probably go down in some ways, aside from when you're adding products. And so all things kind of start to work, and then the customer has a better experience, and then they're retained, right?
Because in the first style the bottoms fit a little bit smaller than my other collection. So then from there, I know we can't design this bottom. This is a high return bottom, so this is what we're going to do forward. But we're going to still use it. We're going to augment it with a different top. We're going to put a different size on it. We're going to, change it around so it works and it's still not lost inventory, dead inventory, wasted inventory, and then we can be put into other collections in a different and new way.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, both of you. I thought this was a really great conversation, and honestly, very innovative. And I think just a lot for other merchants to think about, test, and try. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Thanks, Tiff. Bye, Derek.